your bodies back up here. Let's read this together. Maddie, here we go.
Dear Nugget, I'd love to have you over for dinner. Sincerely, Faye.
Now, I heard quite a few things that this author did very well. Bennett, will you share what you shared with your partner, please?
Nugget and Fane and Ide and Deer are all capital letters in the name.
We said Nugget and Deer, I, was there another one?
And Fane.
Faye.
Because Nugget and Fane are proper nouns, and Ide is a proper noun because it's, and Deer is the beginning of a sentence.
Wow. Oh my goodness, I can't even keep up here. So quick to identify this. Okay, now Jared, I'm going to need some help. He says that 3 of these are proper nouns. Can you help explain what a proper noun is?
It's a person.
Okay, so we know that a noun is a person. He said a place
Or a thing.
or a thing. Great. Now he also, Anna, mentioned that word proper before noun. Can you elaborate on what proper really means for a noun?
It means a person.
So it's not just, who was Nugget? Do you remember what character he was?
The minnow.
He was a minnow. So remember, we're not just saying any minnow. We're talking about a specific minnow. So she's right. It's his name. It's a specific minnow. Nugget. Lovely. So we also know that Fang, Sophie, do you remember the character Fang was?
Yes, a shark.
He was a shark. So he is a proper noun also because that's his name too. He's not just any shark. He's a specific shark named
Fang.
Great. Okay, let's also see. I heard some other great things this author did. Sydney, can you talk to me about a few things?
I noticed that it's a letter because it has a greeting and a closing and a signature and a body.
Okay, my goodness. Greeting, body, sick. Okay, now I'm going to need some help because we had a long spring break. So, Jace, can you help me identify where the greeting is?
It's Dear Nugget.
Dear Nugget, how did you know that that was our greeting?
Because greeting is like something Dear Nugget. It has to have Dear on it or something.
So we also have some good text evidence. When we know it's a greeting, we usually see that word dear. Now, do we always see the word dear, Jace? Do you think every greeting has the word dear? But do most of them have the word dear? Yeah. Okay, awesome. Now, I need a little help identifying the body.
It's not about that, but instead of dear and like who it's from, you could say to nugget from thing.
Oh, so what you're saying, maybe a synonym or maybe another word we could use instead of dear to write a greeting could be to. Okay, good idea. This author chose dear for theirs. Now, can you help me identify the body?
There's something else I noticed.
Okay, thank you.
The body is before the C zero.
Can you tell me where it starts and where it ends? Can you tell me where the body starts and where it ends?
It starts at the eye and it ends at the pubic.
It starts at the eye and ends at the here. So you're telling me this is our body. Can you explain how you knew that that was the body of our letter?
Because this is the easiest thing you'll ever do.
How do you know it's the easiest thing you ever do?
The
What does that
body
mean?
has most of the words. I just looked where it has most of the words and I said that's the body.
Right, we talk about that sandwich that you eat. The meat of it, right? That middle part of your sandwich is where all the goodness is. Just like a letter, where all those words are, all the goodness happens right in that body. Very nice explanation. So hold on to your next thought. Now, I still need help identifying, I think you called it a closing, Katie? Was it called a closing? Is that sound about right?
What?
A closing? Do you?
I was talking about
Can you help me identify a closing?
a closing is where it's before the signature.
Okay, so before the signature, gosh, I told you spring break was really long. Can you help me identify that more specifically? Tell me maybe the words that you see.
The words.
Mm-hmm. The word that's in our closing.
Sincerely.
Okay, she says sincerely. Will you show me with your sign if you agree or disagree that sincerely is our closing? All right, Captain, you got a lot of friends who agree with you.
And there's a comma.
Why do you think the author put a comma right here?
To pause where it is, and you're supposed to, after dear, and whoever you're writing it to, you're supposed to do the comma, because if you just say, "Dear Mrs. Lingerfelt, you always help me," it's really fast saying it, so you do a comma.
I think that's a great point to make, that the author's really giving you tools to slow down your reading, pause so you really remember, Maddie, and comprehend everything that we're trying to tell you. Because who was it that told me where all the goodness happens? Thank you. Oh, there's going to be a lot said in that body. We want to make sure our reader is ready for it. So that pause is great. Very nice job. Okay, and yes, ma'am.
After the sincerely, you can just say sincerely Fang, because it's just too fast to say sincerely Fang. You just have to have a pause after sincerely.
I love that you like to slow it down and really make sure the reader understands. A Darsh.
So a nugget, is actually a minnow. Like, I think minnow is a kind of fish.
Okay, a minnow is a kind of fish. So can you help bring that back to maybe something that could be helpful in our grammar talk?
So if nugget is a minnow, you can just say, at the back, or those, you see words at the back of books.
Like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, if the author put nugget, a minnow is a kind of fish, then you can really know what a minnow is really.
Okay, so maybe the author could have found a way to add that into the body. Okay, that would be a good maybe revision. Let's think for just another moment. I need one more part identified of our letter, because I know we mentioned a greeting, a body, a closing, and I think there was another part. Miss Sophie, can you help me out? Thank you.
I see a period, and
Is a period our missing part of our letter?
no.
Okay, can you help me find our missing part of our letter? The last piece to our letter puzzle?
Signature.
Signature. And can you identify where the signature is for me, please? Oh, lovely. What's that word?
Fang.
Fang. Fang is our signature. Sophia, do you know the job of a signature in a letter? Do you know its job?
To tell who it's from.
To tell who it's from. Okay, give me a thumbs up if you would send a letter to a friend and not put your signature on it. Seb is giving me a thumbs down. Why wouldn't you send a letter to a friend and not put your name on it?
Because they would not know who it's from.
So is it helpful when you get a letter to know who your letter is from? Ian, could you write someone back a letter in response if you didn't know who wrote it? Not really, could you? Okay, so we have now identified parts of our letter. Awesome. You have identified some great proper nouns. I'm thinking of a revision. I want you to turn to your writing partner, and I want you to come up with one describing word. I think we have have a fancy name for
Adjective.
describing words. Adjectives. I want you to think of one adjective that you think would just make this body sentence boom to the next level. Think of one adjective that you could add to make this sentence.
Instead of I love you over for dinner. It would be dear Nugget. I love you to. I would love to have you over for a great dinner that you would love. So to give the fish and the person add more detail because they don't just know what. You have to put what kind of dinner on your plate. So they would actually know if they want to. I don't think you should say I. You should say dear Nugget. I want to have you over for dinner. No, this lovely dinner. Oh yeah, because
Okay, thank you. I didn't even have to hush my crowd. Okay, I heard a lot of great suggestions for a revision this autumn to do, and this will be the last thing we enter grammar talk on. So I'm going to take a suggestion, and Anna, I overheard yours, and I would love for you to share a revision you came up with where you could add an adjective to really make this sentence even better.
it could be dear Nugget. I love to have you over for this lovely dinner.
So Elena, did you hear what she said? Okay, let's repeat it one more time because it was very nice. Go ahead, Anna.
It could be dear Nugget. I love you over for this lovely dinner.
So I would need to add a caret. And Lily, do you remember what she said? Can you tell me those words that we're going to add to our revision?
Lovely dinner.
I think she said this lovely dinner. And let's think. If she just said lovely dinner, let's read what that would sound like. I'd love to have you over for lovely dinner.
Oh, that can be it.
Do you think Anna knew that we needed to add this lovely dinner?
No.
She said it in her head. I heard her say it a couple times to her partner and to herself. So I'd love to have you over for this lovely dinner. Now, Ian, which word that she added, this lovely, can you identify which one is the adjective? Doing the describing?
Excuse me. Lovely.
How do you know that lovely is our adjective? I heard you say it describes. Okay, it describes the dinner. And that is exactly the job of our adjective, to describe the dinner. Very good. Okay, writers. Miss Maddie, that includes you. You are one of my great writers. We're going to turn our bodies a little bit. Well, actually, I'll let you say where you are. I am unfortunately going to have to erase this gloriousness that we did. I hear that you all have an adjective and you want to share it, and we do have to move on. So I will let you, on the count of 3, whisper your adjective out to me, and that way they all were shared. When I count to 3, you can share your adjective. Ready? Whisper. 1, 2, 3. You may now. You guys, I know it's so sad erasing all our great work, but we need our space.